What's up, folks? My name is Sir Medieval, and sorry I'm late. Before I start, I've been going to war with some rats lately in the house. There's this really big one, and let's just say he's been taunting me, okay? I need to win this war. I need to win this war! Anyway, today I'll be bringing you some news, some unnecessary news about Mount and Blade Bannerlord 2 that has nothing to do with the release date. The Q&A post on December 6th goes into some of the mechanics of the settlement building. It describes that the settlement projects that we also have in previous Mount and Blade games, starting off by saying that military buildings such as upgrades to the walls or the addition of a barracks are all directly related to a settlement's ability to play an effective role in times of war. Upgraded walls will make the settlement harder to assault, thank God, and a barracks enables the settlement to maintain a larger garrison to man those walls. Civic buildings are focused on more production and economic capabilities of the settlement, with buildings such as a carpenter's hall, which helps with the production of the settlement, or a vegetable garden that provides a steady supply of food. Better hope that doesn't get burned. However, some civic buildings offer bonuses which you can consider to be more military focused. Now, the way they started, it seems a little different than previous titles. Instead of these starting in villages too, we would strictly start these projects in castles and towns, with the villages receiving bonuses depending on which ones they're tied to. We can separate these projects into two categories, military and income. They changed the way this mechanic works to make things easier for micromanagement, so you don't have to worry about the villages on top of the castles and towns. The project also requires manpower for the construction phases, which you can also funnel more into to ensure the project goes well. Thankfully, they can also be queued, meaning you don't have to worry about losing time with production. If you're preoccupied with other tasks when the current project is completed, then you can just keep that queue going. And once you're done with the projects, or if you never started one, you can invest that manpower that we talked about a second ago into daily projects, which will slowly develop different aspects of your settlement. The daily housing project, for example, will increase the population of each settlement each day by 1. Settlements seem to have improved for the better with the information we've been seeing here, and in addition to this, there will also be a governor mechanic which will be super sweet to say the least. You can appoint the burden of managing your fiefs to trusted clan members that will handle all aspects of managing the settlement. Looking forward to seeing more of this. Going into the Q&A on November 29th features the level designer / video production artist, G Zan. I'm so sorry in advance for my pronunciation, Mr. G, but I absolutely do not want to butcher that name in front of the small amount of people watching today. Anyway, it starts to go into questions about what he does during his day, which should include trying to figure out when Bannerlord is releasing but for some reason doesn't, and also a little about what he likes most about Bannerlord. He states that in Bannerlord we'll be seeing much larger amounts of units in the battlefield than most previous Mount and Blade games. Thank goodness, I hope my computer doesn't crash though. He also goes into one of the more difficult things about designing Bannerlord, which ends up being the textures. Readjusting the scenes in accordance with physically based rendering was quite difficult in the beginning, he says. And in conclusion, he talks about his favorite faction being the Empire, who are more than likely going to get smashed by pure infantry factions. Nord Empire represent. And the final story has to deal with a little bit of sweet, succulent new stuff that we're happy to see in Bannerlord, specifically the child system. That's right, on November 22nd, Ruwa was born, and this certainly changes things in the Mount and Blade universe. Before, it was mainly just about marrying some fair maiden to take back to your castle and help you arrange feasts, or tell you who the daily jackass of the faction was. But now we get to take that a step further and groom our children into fine young ladies or noble warriors, hopefully, that we can task to raiding on the far side of the map so we don't have to. Cannot wait to see more of this come into fruition, and if your child is actually able to grow up and fight with you, I'm personally throwing myself in front of every arrow coming my little Johnny's way. That's what I'm going to name my son. And with that, that's all the news for today, folks, but let's keep crossing those fingers that one day, well, you know the rest. Have a good night or day, folks, and I'll see you next time. Later.